Howdy folks, I've decided to collect these 6 sets. I like to call them the Townhouses, although some people call them the little modelers. The reason why I call them Townhouses is because 3 of them actually have the word townhouse in their names. And they kind of fit together, as you can see. They are like, I guess you could say, little versions of the modelers, because they have this little street here going on, the sidewalk. And but what does make them unique is that they can all be built 3 different ways. Now these are, like, I would say, the final versions. I like to call these the A-sides of these sets. And in this YouTube video, I'm going to show you all the 3 different forms that they are built, and in the end we're going to show you in closer detail what they look in their final forms. Let's first take a look at them in their, what I like to call, the Seaside Forum, which is the build that has the least amount of pieces. Here we have the 6 townhouses built as, I like to call them, Side C, so the buildings with the least amount of pieces. Still, they all seem to fit together quite as a street. Do they work together as a street? Now, you know, I am used to collecting modelers, and after I finished collecting all of them, I wanted to get more of that same feeling. Even though I'm not completely content with how good this looks, I'm not sure if I would put this in my room as decoration. I still think it looks a little bit too chaotic. There's a lot going on here. There's not a sense of cohesion. But maybe with the later builds. But this will give you an idea what it's like to put the seasides next to each other. Now, it is possible to fold some of these and create other structures and buildings. The others are open on the back side, so that makes things a bit difficult. I once tried to put these together in a circle, but that didn't really work. A lot of buildings you saw from the backside, which I found to be ugly, and it didn't fit that snug. Let's take a look in detail on the insides. This is 31026, now built as a seaside, and instead of being a bike shop and a cafe, it is now, well, I guess it's a flower shop. Maybe it's selling vegetables, although, you know, flowers here. If you look on the inside, you see even more plants. And so here you can play a bit with and have some fun with, but I'm very disappointed in the apartment building because all you have is this chair and a table here. A friend of mine asked if this was maybe a bed, but I think that'd be really sad. What is cool is that you could climb upstairs and hang out on the rooftop. So unfortunately 31026, the seaside only uses about half the pieces, so I was a bit disappointed that it's much, you know, the A side has 2 buildings, so that's twice as much as this. This building only has about 2/3 being used because of this, well, this staircase here, which I do think looks kind of nice, but it has me kind of wishing they would have made a bigger building. Moving on to 31036, which is normally, what is it, toy store? Yeah. Now it's, I guess, a kiosk for your newspapers and other news, which I think is pretty cool. This is one of the few buildings in the series that is actually the size I would expect in real life. So I like that a lot. So there's a door on the back, and they're selling some ice cream here. That's kind of cool. And I love this pile of newspapers here, you know. So yeah, this one I really like, although I want to have some bigger buildings in my town here. And as for the inside, again, what you can expect, the cashier, I guess a plant here in the corner, and a chair. Not much going on, but what can you expect? I guess it would have been nice if there was a rack with newspapers, right? Next building is 31050. I guess this is the townhouse. Am I getting the order correct? Anyhow, what's really cool about this one is that you can open this, and you can see it's a serra where they have plants growing. And the fountain is also cute, so that has a lot going for it. This facade looks kind of okay. Definitely not up to modular standards, but it's pretty to look at. This one is actually 3105. This is normally the daily on the corner. Now it's, well, what is this? I don't know. I think it's really cute. It does have its fair share of nice looking details. Well, this is really ugly, but I guess you put this against another. But I mean, what is this? What kind of house? How do people live here? They don't. I mean, you can't. It has a chair and a staircase in the bottom floor, or a ladder actually, and then the person who lives here has the smallest of beds, and I guess a stereo set, and that's it. So I don't find this convincing at all. I mean, I love it that there's a stoplight. That's a nice addition to the town, but you don't see stoplights next to buildings like this, right? This is now a bank, so obviously you're going to compare this to the brick bank if you're familiar with the Modulars. This has something going for it, you know, a more modern look because of all the glass. And it's got a smartphone. Outside you have the juice cellar. And so here's the apartment. The top is fantastic. I would love to see something like this in the Model 2. Oh, I really have to lower it down for the camera, right? It's that tall. Yeah, imagine this being on a modular, a greenhouse on the top of the roof. Wouldn't that be cool? Let's take a look on the inside. So this is probably the best looking apartment in the Seaside set, where we not only have a cool looking chair, we also have a television and a desk. Oh, the dog's in the way. And some bones for him. And a table, croissant, and some flowers. So this is the best looking apartment, which is not really saying much. And as for the bank, well, they have this chandelier. Not as good looking as the modular ones, but hey, I think it does its job. And well, here, this is where the bank here works. There is a safe to put things in, and a little door here. So I guess you can play with this area, have some fun with it. And one last building. So I'm going to put these in the right order again. The normally is the toy store. It's now been turned into a flower shop, and I think this is the best looking of all the Seasides. This is it has enough depth, just enough. The backside is unfortunately open. You can easily remove the rooftop, so I wouldn't consider it required the backside would be open. It makes it easier to play with though. Here we have the little cafe corner. So that's a reference to the Modulars. Now this flower shop looks so much better than the other one. You know, it has all these things going on, lots of different flowers, better looking cashier, and of course the outside has this facade. So yeah, this is the newest set, and you can tell that the design technology keeps getting better for the Lego sets. So I enjoy making this one the most of all of them. What we have here are the 6 buildings put together, mostly Seasides, and as a block. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to figure this combination out before I had changed this into the B side for the bike shop. So originally this was the plant shop. Now it's in the mechanic form. But what we have here is a block with, you know, these 6 buildings nicely put together. It's like a little part of town where everybody knows each other, having a good time. Unfortunately, we have this hole here. I don't like that. But I was pleasantly surprised to see how you can make a part of town like this. Again, well, you know, this is just open. I still like looking at this. So this will give you an idea of what you can do with all the Seasides together. Imagine this building being the other one I showed you in the video. I was so happy with this combination of buildings. Look how seamless it is. So most of them are relatively the same height. And we now have a little trolley here to bring our friends around. I took that huge building and now it's 3 separate ones. So here we have 2 of the pieces, the barber and the dentist. Let's quickly hover around. Post office at the corner. And here we now have the place for the tram to stop to pick people up. But look how nicely the buildings fit together, right? So there is a little bit of a hole here, I guess, and here. So it's not perfect, but it's pretty damn close. And I feel like that if this combination of buildings doesn't get better than this, I'll still be happy with what I have. So these are all B-sides except, let me quickly swoop around, except this one, the flower shop. This will turn into a cafe or bakery of sorts, and I'm not so sure it's going to fit that well. You'll find out next video, or next part of the video. Here we have all the sets now as the B-sides, and notice how that the buildings are a bit flatter. Apparently the Seasides are a bit more vertical. Most of these are 1 story tall, except this one. I love the way how they look together on the street. From this angle, looking at the other side, well, we now get to see the complete street. And to get that one thing out of the way, this is the only imperfection I see. Really, you can look into this room here where apparently they play with Lego. But other than that, it's a complete block. I love that so much. Let's take a look at the sets from closer by, starting with the bike shop. Here it comes. So now it's a mechanic of sorts. So if you open it up, because this broad building, see that? And I think this is really cool how the car can be parked in here. The inside, well, you have a place to work with the computer, and this is a workbench of sorts, and this is also another computer to, I guess, write down what's being done. At the top of the building, we have a little garden. So that's going on in this building. On to the next, which is then what normally is the toy and grocery shop, now turned into a post office. Really cute and small. See the guy at the top with the telescope and a bench. And this one too can also be opened like this. But not that much going on. I guess a box of sorts. Not really clear what that is. And a cashier. And the best part of the set, I think, is the bird holding on to the piece of mail, the envelope. Okay, the third one, which I find the least of the Seaside, but better than, no, sorry, the B-side, but better than the Seaside. This was previously that funky tower. This is the Corner Deli. Now it's another flower shop, the third in total, and probably the least attractive flower shop because, well, whatever's on the inside is not that interesting. And a cashier. No, I guess it's kind of funny that you can open up the top. It does look kind of cute, but no, it's not the most interesting building. On to the Park Street Townhouse. Ooh, this is dangerous. Yeah, got it. Okay, so this one does not look good when you close it. It just doesn't fit together. All right. That doesn't really work. You see that's open to the side. I guess you can open it up for play. There's a coffee machine. It's really dark, but and it doesn't have enough details. The best part of this set, I think, is the greenhouse you can open here. This is where they get the vegetables for the cafe. And here you can sit outside. I think it looks nice. Whether this is better than the Seaside, which had the house with the greenhouse you could open like that, I think that's quite up for debate. Now the best B-side is the what is it called, the one with the pet shop. So let me see if I get the order correct. This one goes here, yes, and then we finish with the Alt for the tram. These three buildings together are just fantastic. This is really unique. I don't know any other set that does something like this. So you get this fabulous trolley to go with it. It should go like this. And you can stop here to pick up your buddies. It has a relatively convincing looking ATM machine. It's got the dentist and the barber. This is just so cool. The barber looks like a real barber on the inside. It's got the places to wait. Love this bench. Now, and all the stuff you need, including a mirror. I mean, it's not the most convincing mirror, but yes. And what about the dentist? it looks just as good as the dentist modular. I mean, look, check out the computer there, cupboard, but here, look, it's got the mirror to look inside, and everything else a dentist needs, so that's fantastic. And this doesn't have any inside, but this looks great. Okay, running out of room here, but on to the newest one. Normally the toy shop, now turned into another cafe, or maybe it's a bakery of sorts. Looking at this cake, I think it looks spectacular. And on the inside, well, first the bakery. I mean, look at this refrigerator. It's full of sweets. It's more in the windows. A funny looking cashier, works for me. And here we have this extension, this room with, which seems to be a Lego fan. We got the cafe corner, a train, and some more Lego sets on the ground there. Altogether, this looks also really great. So those are the B-sides from close by. And finally, we have here all the townhouses in their third and final form. This way I displayed them to look the best if you were to put them like in a Lego city where you would be able to see it all on all sides. So what I tried to do was make it look appealing from every side you can see. Now this side all looks really good. When we get to the back, you'll see that I made a couple of compromises. For example, this should be here. But you'll see that this funny building, unfortunately, still has a wall there, and it's open here. Yeah, so that's the main criticism I have of collecting this set as 6 buildings and creating a block. But other than that, yeah, pretty good, right? I mean, I kind of wish that the cafe at the end was the same size as the rest of the buildings. You can open those up, but then they will be open. So after this, we're going to look at the street with the buildings open. And here we have the buildings opened up so that they become more spacious as a block. I really love it how it can make a perfect rectangle, although I did have to cheat a little bit. This building here, I had to close that one, otherwise, well, I couldn't find a way to puzzle it. So looking at these buildings like this, looks pretty cool. My greatest complaint is that this building here, well, there's a hole there. I really can't stand that kind of thing. So maybe you can fill it up with some extra pieces. But altogether, this looks also pretty cool. It's time to look at the A sides of all the 6 sets. So let's start here with the bike shop. Now, 2 buildings together, so you can see that. I love the way this looks. And you can both open them up. This one's a bit funny because when opening it up, you still have this funny sign here. This is a more traditional building, I'd say. So just having this set by itself creates a whole street, which you can use this car here to drive along. So here, this way you can also see the back. Let's take a look on the inside, where we have 4 rooms. Kitchen here, the bike shop itself, and well, I guess somebody could sleep here on this bed. The cool thing, of course, is that you can have a barbecue upstairs. And the cafe, what's going on here? Well, here's a ladder to the roof, and a little place to sit down. Not much going on, right? And the cafe, well, this is probably the most interesting room. It does have a coffee machine and a cashier and a place to sit. How about that? Moving on to the next set, trying to stick chronologically, so I'll quickly put this aside. We have the toy store. So we have this little fellow here, again on his bike. Now, this is my least favorite building of these 6. I would say this is the front side because it has the most going on. Largest roof. I really don't like these roofs though. I mean, what kind of roof looks like this? It's actually flat on the top. So this stair kind of bugs me. I don't think it looks very realistic. And on this side we have the toy store entrance. Now what's interesting is that you can open and close these. Why? Because you can shift the whole building to look like this, right? And then you can move these aside so that people could still use the catwalk. So here all together you have two buildings next to each other. They're both very narrow. And I think what is kind of funny is this. We have this Coca-Cola vending machine. And on the inside, well, somebody can sleep here, has some mail. And this is the toy store. Oh, no, sorry, this is the grocery shop. Well, not much to buy. And the toy store does have some cute things like a train and a robot that looks exactly like Wall-E. And yeah, one little night desk. Alright, the third one in order is the daily. Now this is it opened up with this attachment. Now you can take this off. You can make the building like this. And if you have the right pieces, you can take this sandwich and put it in front of here. I did that with, let me show you, if you have two of these pieces, that actually works quite well. So, you might have seen that in other videos. Here's the back side. And if you open it up, what do we get? Well, place to hang out. The smallest of cupboards. Nothing in it, unfortunately. I don't even think you can really fit anything in it. And but here the sandwiches are made. You can see that. Here's the fourth one. The what's it called? Park Street Townhouse. Got a bit of a New York West Side, Upper West Side vibe going on here. So, little neighborhood, bit of a park, and I love this sign here because of the green sides. There is a fire escape. Doesn't really work because you have to swing around every step or whatever, right? And this is fun. You can open it up, get to the master bedroom. Place to sit outside. Bit of a kitchen. This is one of the more convincing houses because you also have a huge flat screen TV. I think that's really cool. I'm going to bring it a little bit closer so you can see that. I find it very convincing. Pretty cool couch next to it and a fireplace. So this is quite a complete house altogether. Here we have the big kahuna, the cafe, and what is this again? Another cafe. Oh, the pet shop, of course. So this one's really awesome. When I first saw it, I thought, well, too many colors, but building it is a lot of fun. This is also the most modular of these buildings because you can do all kinds of fun stuff. Now, take a look at this. You can, if you attach this pipe here, or detach it, you have this piece of park here, which is kind of loose and lets you put the building together in different ways. Because if you switch it around, you might prefer to have the building like this, which makes it a bit more like a traditional townhouse. You can also take this off if you want to put another building next to it. This, however, oh yeah, I added a second little piece of, what is it, mist? Coffee smell, put at the top. Funny radiator here. You can slide these windows. You can also put this traffic light a little bit lower, but I prefer it high. And lots to see on the inside. We have a place to sleep, a place to watch TV and read some books, or maybe there seems to be kind of a stereo going on, so maybe they're cassette tapes. And the pet shop. All kinds of stuff. The mouse. Oh God, did the bird fall? Well, it's a toucan. I don't know if you can see it. So you have this toucan here. What's really cool about these buildings is that you can easily take them apart. So in this case, this will help. Take a good look at that. I can easily put the toucan back, and that's all restored. Again, we have one of those huge fishes. Is that what you say it? I mean, plural fishes. Fish still, so it's a huge fish. And I'm looking at the cafe. It's French style. Okay, got a little kitchen there. I like the details. And downstairs, a place to sit and order your coffee, and some cheese here for the mouse. And there's also this fellow here, whoa, with the hot dog. I love this. This looks so cool. And last but not least, we have the toy store, which I think looks really beautiful. Look at those lovely details. The color is a bit funny, but it's a happy color. So we have a train here going alongside the entrance, and a soldier. Can't eat to eat. Check out the inside, where we have a bed and a plant, and downstairs we have the Toy Story. The toy store proper, with an airplane and a train. And look, it's the cafe corner. You could still get it. Wonder how much it's going for. And then on to the most awesome part of the whole Townhouse collection is this thing. Check it out. If you turn it, this guy rocks back and forth. And he does so in a rather haphazard way, which makes it more like a ride, you know? It's not that smooth. And putting it together, you can't really see it, but really simple, but excellent effect. So I love that. And those were all the 6 buildings from close by. So those were the 6 Lego townhouses. I hope you enjoyed looking at them from all these different sides and different combinations of streets. I had a lot of fun building them. Yeah, what can I say? Every set lets you build it 3 times, but if you get all the sets, you can make so many different combinations. Unfortunately, it seems like they're not making these townhouse sets anymore. They used to make them one every year, and at the time of this recording, it's July 2021, and they still haven't released one this year. So I think they stopped making them, unfortunately. So I guess this is the complete set, and I look forward to seeing you again when Ricardo and I get back to reviewing the normal Lego Modulars, probably the Parisian restaurant. This was a lot of fun. See you later.